Glaring lacking is the service ethic and commitment.
Pass me that shirt.
In too many places in our public service, and I've seen improvements in some places. Too many people are about their own business talking to one another, caring stressing about things pertaining to number one. They will laugh and
I want to see what that man looks like that talks like that. Let me see. I just want to see his face.
people behind the top of someone else. I think she punched one.
Yeah. Lucky boy.
Hey.
Yeah, boy. It's true. This is what I asked about. No. You go to the on here, sir. Yeah, I think that's more. No, I will pick some. It takes time to do the exam. I want gas to be yesterday about gas knocking up.
They have brought in a more professional, a more committed, a more moral, a more courteous approach. You see the old people.
That's my system. I tell my whiskey. Like people like that, then I couldn't make it. One day we do for that. Yeah, I get to do. I went to fish and I started to fish yesterday. How much I did? Monthly. And then I'm all in. $2 for $2. I'm going down. Yeah, I didn't like fucking exactly this. But we don't want to fish. I don't want to make a money to the one time. You know all I'm going to play. I'm going to Rico.
I've been live for 2 minutes. I didn't hit the button. I don't know what's happening.
How are you doing, man?
Hi, I'm good. How are you? Good. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube. Yeah. Guys, I want to give you all the inside scoop in video form of how to do the reset fast. A lot of people have been asking about it. First and foremost, the reset fast is unlike any other fast. The reset fast does just that, resets your entire body. And it's for 21 days, pretty much, because every cell in your body, which is the most basic unit of your body, regenerates itself every 7 days. So it takes about 3 regenerations of your basic cell to effectuate a reset. And the way we do it is with nothing but distilled water, if you're drinking water at all. So for 21 days, nothing but distilled water is the reset and above, because I've done a couple of fasts for 40 days. Now that takes you to a completely different level when it comes to fasting. Now, what I think, based on my experience with fasting, that when you do the reset fast of 21 days, that's a physical. It delves into a lot of the spiritual, but y'all ain't seen nothing yet. It ain't nothing. Well, it's the preamble to what your body experiences spiritually when you do 40 days of nothing but water. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, I'm live. I keep forgetting I'm live. I'm thinking I'm recording. I can hit a pause button. Anyhow, I've well, let me just give you my story. Back at the height of the pandemic in 2020, when they were had us under house arrest and started mandating the COVID vaccination. Is it called a vaccination? I forget what it was called, but anyhow, the shot for COVID. And I was already set. I don't like shots anyhow. And then volunteer to take one that I don't know enough about to have that in my body. And it's not something that has been studied. It's like last minute emergency, rush, rush, rush. And I'm not one to do anything rush, rush. Even though we have the means to possibly do that now with this artificial intelligence, I'm still not about it. So I had decided a minute ago when they first started talking about some injection for COVID. I ain't taking that. I had already, and then what really set it off is when in DC they were actually uh, offering McDonald's. If you took the shot, you would get some kind of voucher for McDonald's. I'm like, if that ain't upside down, inside out, just backwards, what is? I mean, you're going to offer some of the worst food on earth while spouting that this injection will help your health during this pandemic. Anyhow, so I decided I was not going to take the shot. So at that point, it's like, you can't just sit back and not do nothing. I mean, that to me was crazy. Uh, Even with the people who took the shot, I know some that actually thought that they were on easy street. They didn't change anything, not their diet, not their exercise, not nothing. They believed that injection was going to cloak them from anything that might be coming down the pike. But anyhow, so I decided, I actually started doing some research. What's the best way to, and I think I worded it just like this. What's the best way to make sure you don't get infection? And I kept fasting. I'm like, fasting. Okay, so I started reading into first off, what fasting was, and then how to do it and how it would benefit me if I did it. Everything. I mean, I saw, some of this, what we call now maintenance fasting that was put out, but the actual all water fast, I was like intrigued. So I started reading on that. And February 24th, the night before, I'd actually had a chicken dinner, I think, with my family, and decided, because the next day I think was Lent, that I was going to fast. So I started 40 days of fasting that midnight and went through March 16th, 21 days. I didn't really know much about breaking the fast, but I knew I had to eat something right because I had done all of this flushing. So I went and researched again while I was fasting, and found Dr. Sabi. I had never heard of him before. I'm kind of, never heard of Dr. Sabi before 2020. Never even heard of him. Never crossed my palate or anyone else's that was in my company. But I found him and started working with this Facebook group in, really being holistic with it, because I was not. I tell people all the time that, anyone can do this, because I'm the least of which should have been fasting, because that's not in my purview at all to not eat. I'm the ultimate foodie. I am the definition of a foodie. So, and doing the research and everything, finding out, what to eat. And I didn't break that first fast the way we are now, because like I said, I'm new to all of this and studying. I'm telling you, it is really allowing me to really know in detail what the fasting is doing. I also follow a couple of doctors that I later, found out about, who's doing active research right now on long-term fasting to completely reverse chronic illnesses. And I'm talking about cancer. I'm talking about all of those diseases that are putting people in the grave. So, it's reversing them. So it's like there's no reason that we can't at least try it just to save our lives. Anyhow, so I did that first 21-day fast. When I came out of that fast, I, had previously bought cashews. And I'm telling you, I think having those cashews in the house was the reason why I formed my fasting techniques, because I wanted those cashews badly. You hear me? I really wanted those. It was the big container. Oh my God, my mouth will water when I think about it. And I didn't. And the way I did that is saying anything that was standing in my way or trying to stand in my way of fasting was Satan, the devil, straight up. And me thinking like that really helped me to stay the course. Because, like I said, and I wasn't even hungry. I just wanted the cashews. So, because I'm telling you, after day 3 of not eating anything, my body took a quick turn because I was feeling weak. I was feeling headachy. You know about them hangry headaches and stuff, stomach growling, feeling weak. And all of those are normal because when you deplete your body of what's necessary to produce energy, it's going to cry out. It always, if anything goes wrong with your body, one way or another, you're going to get a signal. Now, you may ignore that signal because you can bear the pain or whatever, but it's still a signal. So when your body is, when I was at that day 1, day 2, and day 3 of that very first fast, and y'all realize I had never fasted before. So I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know anything, but I went through all of that, feeling like I could faint, feeling like my head was going to pop because my doggone, the headaches were like migraines. Now, many people would have eaten, thinking that, this is not supposed to happen. And it is. When you get to day 3 is when it subsides. And it did for me because that's the normal time in which to transition from that energy source that's coming from glucose. And glucose is the chemical that's formed when you eat food. It gets transitioned through your body and becomes an energy source. When you stop eating, it stops forming and your body starts crying out. And these are times of starvation. And that's what visceral fat is. It is a fat that's produced in your body. Every time you eat, it's secretly storing, and I say secretly, but that's how I see it, storing this fat in your system. And it's called adipose tissue. It's fat cells that are all over your body from head to toe. And they kind of help. They're like black matter to me. They help things get to where they're supposed to go. And there's white fat and brown fat. And we'll talk about that some other time. But when your body, he got off again, and I saw him when he got off. The duck. Yeah, I saw him when he snatched it. Anyhow, so when your body is completely transitioned, you will feel it. That means your body is no longer dependent on that glucose or glucogen, and it has found that alternate energy source, ketones. Now, the ketones are being made, that energy source is being made because of the visceral fat, that stored fat that's protecting you from starvation is now attacked because that's what you're going through. But it's filled with toxins, that visceral fat, and that's possibly the reason why we get ill. So once your body is now on ketones, and it goes through a process where I look at it, and I may not be saying it properly, but I'm not a doctor, I'm not an herbalist, I'm not none of that stuff. I'm experiencing all of this real time right now, and have been since February of 2020. But I see it as melting the visceral fat from out of that adipose tissue and taking it to the liver. First, the kidneys, because it has to filter it. And then it sends it to the liver. And that's where it becomes ketones. And that's where the waste goes, all those toxins and stuff goes to the lymphatic system to get it out. And that's why when you're fasting, you need to be moving, because I don't care what, those toxins are coming out one way or another. A lot of people who have fasted wind up with rashes, they wind up with boils, they wind up with those things because they're not moving, and the lymphatic system is overloaded with all the toxins in the body, and it's trying to get out. It's trying to get out. So you got to move. You got to help your lymphatic system. Anyhow, once you finish transitioning onto ketones, your body takes a drastic turn to, I don't know what that is. It's like energy, like you have almost like that second wind. Y'all know about the second wind? I know anybody who's done any kind of sports or been in any kind of water, it's like a renewed energy. You tired as shit. You feel like crap. But for some reason, and this is because you've transitioned into your body's preferred energy source, which is ketones, and it gives you an energy that, but don't react, because I'm gonna tell you, you ain't supposed to be doing a whole bunch of stuff that's gonna make you wheeze for air or be sweating and all that other stuff. Your body still needs to remain as in a state of rest because it is in full gear repair mode, under construction for real. And this is where the reset really begins. Because once your body's on ketones, you're now in what's called high level autophagy. I'll put it that way. Because your body's always in autophagy, where it's taking all the stem cells that are circulating in your body and it's repairing any damaged cells. But once you get into what I call high level autophagy, and that's during the on the ketone energy source. Hey, I'm telling you, are producing stem cells off the chizard, and those stem cells are what's going in, really doing the repair. It can completely rebuild your organs. It's the only cell in your body that can actually become specialized cells, like your heart, like your liver, like your kidneys. So when day 3 is when mine happened, my first fast, where I transitioned into ketones. And y'all, I felt like I could do anything. I'm telling you, the energy is outstanding. Once I got past that, I didn't have an appetite at all. I mean, I didn't feel weak. I maintained energy. I must have had a lot of visceral fat because I was on point. You hear me? I was working with Amazon, delivering for them, and I was working with DoorDash, delivering hot food from restaurants to these people's homes. I'm telling you, that was a mad time. I just gotten to DC from Australia, and we were just visiting, but check that out. COVID had other plans. So we have not been back to Australia. My son and I lived there for a minute, and the house, the car, the clothes, everything's still there. Anyhow, another story. But anyhow, once I realized that I could work, I could, it was no phase after day 3. I was, like I said, autopilot. You don't have to worry about it. So that's why I say don't be sitting back thinking you can't fast 21 days starving, because it ain't it. That's not it. You might do 2. I know some people have done just 2 days to get there. And any fast thereafter, I'm telling y'all, I've never had the stuff happen to me fasting that I had happen to me during that first fast. I'm telling you, it's a completely different world. During that first fast, 3 days after I stopped eating is when I had my final stool. 7 days after that, I had something really weird happen. I'm telling you, I'm looking in the toilet and I'm not understanding what I'm seeing. And it turns out that it was excess mucus. And I mean a lot of it. That's the stuff that becomes inflammation. That's the stuff that becomes the disease. Who I keep thinking on, if I had not fasted in 2020, all of that, what would that have become? What kind of disease would that have become in me? And that's what it is. It's waiting to become something. But it was all out of me. All out of me. Now, once you get to the end of the fast, and the things that you should be doing while fasting is doing your breathing exercises. There are several breathing exercises. I know of one really good one that I use all the time, whether I'm fasting or not. And that's the inhale, exhale. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. When you inhale through the nose, you hold it for an 8 count. And when you exhale till you cannot exhale anymore. But it's all exhale through the mouth, inhale through the nose, hold it 8 count, exhale through the mouth. And just keep repeating that. That thing helps. I don't know if it's the exchanges of gases that allow your body to actually escape the gas and all of that that's kind of built up because of the lack of food or because of the gut biome bacteria and all that stuff that's in there. The transfer of energy as your body repairs itself, whatever it is, that breathing works. And based on just that premise, y'all realize there are a lot of people who believe that we don't need to eat at all. I don't know what's happening. And I have a Rastafarian friend right now that believes that we don't need to eat. As a matter of fact, eating is what exposes us to disease. And I'm telling you, now that I've fasted and I can open my mind to different thoughts, it is crazy. It's like, it is straight crazy because I never would have even entertained some of the thoughts that I have, or some of the conversations, or some of the dealings that I have right now. And that's simply because, I don't know, decalcified pineal gland has to be, because I am a completely different person. Since 2020, I've done 12 different long-term water fasts. 10 of them were for 21 days. 2 of them were for 40 days. Year one, 2020, I did 4 21-day fasts. 4 of them. I couldn't believe I was feeling the way I was feeling. It was wonderful. It was, I don't know how I really, because I had never in my life, I don't care what age I was, I don't ever in my life recall feeling that way. Oh shoot, I forgot he got to go to work. Um, but with that, I was able to open my mind to a lot of stuff. Y'all don't realize I am now listening to Billy Carson. Is his name Billy Carson? With the Anunnaki and all of that. I'm now able to listen to, even some astrologers, because that straight wasn't on my page. At all, at all, at all. To me, that was like, especially being brought up, raised Baptist Christian in Ohio. Yeah. Y'all have to, we'll get into all of that. Right now, I simply want to show you how to reset fast. Most of the bases you have, that's how you do it. You just stop eating. You don't put anything in your water. And yes, it should be distilled water. Distilled water is water that has absolutely nothing in it. Now listen to this. This is why. When your body is without any assistance, that is from any nutrients, minerals, amino acids, uh, uh, magnesium compounds. Because I think everybody want to put Celtic sea salt in their water while fasting. No, this ain't the time for that. This is not the time for that. Everybody want to take a herb because they think the premise is all about caloric deficit. It is, but it's more than that. Everybody thinks that they can find a substitute for fasting. Hell no. There's nothing on God's green earth that can take the place of your human body that has been given dominion over all things according to the Bible, that can repair your body the way your body can. And it's funny because I go on some of those lives on TikTok where those people are selling that little orange packet. They hate to see us coming talking fasting. I don't care if it's intermittent or what. They will block you quick. Ask me, because I know. Because I'm telling you, fasting, well, if everybody did it, these companies wouldn't even be in existence. Period. And they know it. They know it because it reverses, it builds, it does everything that all these supplements, all these pharmaceuticals, all these herbs are doing, but 100% better. And effectively, without having to worry about crossing this, crossing that. If you're on this, you can't take this. No, none of that. Do the 21-day reset fast and prove me wrong. All I'm saying is once you do it, thank me later. I want that thanks. I want that thanks. So after you actually get past day 3, for real, you have nothing to worry about. No starving, no appetite, no anything. As a matter of fact, I was watching mukbangs. Can you do me one before you go, please?
What?
You know what? I don't want to say it while I'm live. And there's water on somebody's phone. Is that water? Dude, is that water on your phone? Get it off if it is, or is it cracked? Oh, it's cracked. Okay. Oh, oh, it's like a cracked screensaver. The pieces are missing from around it. I got you. Okay, gotcha. I wish I had put that screensaver on my phone. It's cracked now. Anyhow, I decided to go live on YouTube because we are really establishing a presence over here. A lot of our things for Journey to Enlightenment are being posted over here, as well as the lives that we do on TikTok. So I decided, yeah, let's put some other content on. And a lot of people really don't know how to fast. And I'm asked that often. Well, I want to change my lifestyle. I want to be healthier. I need to get rid of diabetes. I need to get rid of, and every time someone asks me, how do I get rid of herpes? How do I get rid of AIDS? How do I get rid of these things? I'm telling you, go to the source within you. And that's what's going to save you straight up. From what I've experienced just with my body, I had high blood pressure, always in the hospital for that surgery for kidney stones. When I did that first fast, I no longer had, and I'm talking about to this day, 4 years later, no high blood pressure, not even a sign of it. But meanwhile, before I'd done the fast, my doctor is prescribing amlodipine and Liposil for life. I'm telling you, as soon as that doctor told me, because she gave me the prescription, she never told me for how long I had to take it. So when I went back and she's like, oh, no, you got to take this for the rest of your life. I stopped taking it instantly. Like, how you going to tell somebody in their face that this man-made bull crap you now have to take for your human body for the rest of your life? And I think I went 3 years, maybe 4 years without taking any of the medicine, not really doing anything but trying to lose weight. And I didn't really think I needed to lose weight, but I thought that had something to do with it. And it probably did. But after doing that very first fast, I had gone back because I was traveling a lot. Since we got stuck in the U.S., I wasn't really trying to be there. So I was out somewhere diving, Bimini, Isla Mujer, somewhere. So I was always in there having to get that PCR test. And every time I went in there to get that PCR test, she wanted to test my blood pressure. And it was always high. I mean, off the charts high. I think the normal is 120 over 80. And mine was like 3 something over 2 something. You know, she wouldn't let me leave. She's like, nah, you sit your butt right here. You ain't doing nothing but moving forward under my watch. You know. But I wound up sitting there, and yeah, I was off to Bimini, off to East Lovely Harris. But I knew I needed to do something, and I was trying to, change my eating habits. And once I did the fast, it was over. And she's still trying to figure out how that happened. Can you? I know. Can you do me one of those?
What?
So,
What are they?
See, don't make me say it while I'm right here.
Weed? Yeah, no weed now. Y'all gonna do it?
Anyhow, yeah, wait a minute. Okay, wait. Okay. Why are you looking like that? Huh?
I got tissue there.
Yeah, how would you get there? Loaded too. Look at it. Okay, Reggie, I'm going to be over there. Okay, because I'm going to go to the store. You hear me? Reggie, you heard me? Okay, see ya. Okay. And I don't edit anything, so all of that pause is going to be in there. So, like I was saying, once you get past day 3, you should be pretty much on autopilot. That's because your body's now using the alternate energy source. Um, okay, there is a hierarchy in breaking that fast. I think I was telling you all about the uh, distilled water, because a lot of people are wondering why distilled water, because it has no nutrients in it, and that forces the body to do the full, complete reset. When it's unassisted, it is doing all the work. It's not depending on that nutrient, that external uh, uh, nutrient that we've been given dominion over. It's using the body. I want to say the dominioner and the dominionee. But anyhow, it allows the complete reset. Everything is being worked on. And for 3 weeks, 21 days, your cells have gone through 3 different cycles of um, cleaning. Because I mean, it replicates every 7 days. Your cells are regenerated every 7 days. So 3 cycles of that should produce a completely cleansed cell. Now, if they're infected with something like cancer and some of those really aggressive, invasive kind of chronic illnesses, yeah, the doctor prescribes 40 days. And it's funny because I'm telling you, I joke about it now, but I can only imagine what that doctor was living when he actually got arrested by police criminally because he was prescribing fasting to his patients. Yeah, his name is Alan Goldhammer. He's a doctor who's now practicing out in California, and he's doing case studies on fasting. So we actually have scientific information about fasting, and we got a lot of it. You hear me? He has spawned so many other doctors in this way. And I say, if you got to talk to a professional or someone, talk to someone who knows about fasting, someone who is checking out the case studies by Goldhammer or Longo. There are several names that I think spawned from, I want to say Goldhammer or Longo, because Longo is an aficionado when it comes to intermittent fasting. And I'm sure there are other doctors, but these are the ones that I've come across. And Goldhammer is more the aficionado when it comes to long-term fasting. And I'm telling you, he's got documented facts on reversing cancer and the other chronic diseases like heart disease and thyroid and diabetes. Those are nothing to get rid of, and people are still dying from diabetes and the effects thereafter. Y'all stop. Get that out of the way. And I'm telling you, I don't care how far advanced you are with any of it. I'm telling you, try fasting. That's all I'll say. Try fasting. So anyhow, again, what your body is going through while fasting, after you're now on the visceral fat elimination and ketones production, your body is going to keep going through that. I mean, the longer you stay on that, the more cycles of your cells regenerating get to go through it, so that anything that's missing, that's why I say it is the reset fast. You are being reborn. I'm talking about giving another chance. The resiliency that comes into our bodies is being shown right then. Just using your body to correct all the things, the stuff you've eaten, the stuff you've done, all of that. And what's interesting also is that when you fast, you reverse the aging process, because when your stem cells slow down, they don't produce the same, or they, die. That is what ages you. The things that are being replenished during the autophagy, and that is the repairing of the damaged cells, ain't fixing no more. So, the wrinkles in the face and all that other stuff, all of that aging stuff can be reversed with fasting. There's a enzyme that's called, I think it's called the PKA enzyme. and it stops being produced when you're fasting. It is directly related to aging you. So, I mean, there's a lot of benefits for it. But the visceral fat, first and foremost, you get rid of those toxins that are embedded in organs. A lot of the weight that you have not been able to lose has been because it's visceral fat, not subcutaneous fat. That fat that you can, do your exercise and all that stuff with to get rid of pretty much. But it's interesting, the biomarkers for fasting are the same as those for working out. And I'm going to talk to you all about those biomarkers because they're very important. I heard one guy talking about, instead of biomarkers, he was calling them BMI, body mass index. He was talking about the little orange pack. Like, how is BMI? No, you mean, anyhow. So after you complete the fast, we have a hierarchy of breaking the fast, the right way of going back into eating. And we use it daily because we kind of follow the same protocol for our intermittent fasting that we do for our long-term fasting. And that is, if you're doing a dry fast, of course, go straight into distilled water. And we add a day for that because when you fast, you're supposed to break the fast half the number of days that you fasted. And with a 21-day fast, we break the fast for 10 days. And it just helps the body ease back into accepting those calories, accepting that food matter, accepting, all the things that's missed for those 21 days. So we start with tea. The tea is the first tea that you should consume when breaking the fast should be the chelation tea. Now, My Alkaline Vegan Journey has a complete chelation application. There are 4 of them in the pack, and it's available in the store. This whole chelation is inspired by Dr. Sebi. We added about 3 new herbs to the mix because they do things for the gut, specifically for these things that add to the removal of those heavy metals. And that's all chelation is. It's the removal of heavy metals from your system. And let me tell you why that's important, y'all. And let me first tell you what happened. I did my 40-day fast, my very first one. After doing those 4 in 2020, I did that one in 2021. It was 40 days, nothing but water, except for the first 3 days where I did nothing but dry. I didn't even know it was called dry fasting. And I'll tell you why I did that later. But I did 3 days dry and 37 days water. When I finished those 40 days, I wound up doing the chelation tea. And like I said, it is a tea that is comprised of herbs, all natural herbs, so you can chelate naturally that will remove heavy metals from your system. The heavy metals are blocking disease cells. Every disease cell has parasites. So process that right quick. The heavy metals help to hide the disease cells. All disease cells have parasites. So when you take the chelation and remove those heavy metals, you are also removing disease cells and parasites. So 40 days of not eating not a thing, 3 of which I didn't even drink anything. I wound up taking my chelation tea, and I couldn't get to the bathroom quick enough while drinking the chelation. My body was wide open. That's all I could see. I was drinking the chelation tea, and it is nasty as hell. Yuck. But it's so good for you. I was running to the bathroom. And yes, I had a bowel movement. After 40 days of not eating anything, this chelation, my chelation that's in the My Alkaline Vegan Journey store, actually was removing heavy metals on spot. And that's how you have to take my chelation. You cannot eat for at least 24 hours before taking this tea. Imagine doing 40 days of not eating. There shouldn't be anything there, is what I'm thinking. You've gone all this time with nothing to eat. And you take a tea and it's still flushing you? Yeah. Because heavy metals are things that your body needs to survive. So they ain't going nowhere. They're pretty much set in place. And that's why disease cells are smart as shit. They know exactly where to hide, and so they do, along with their parasites. It's not until you get rid of them. It's not until now some people's diets might be such that they are eating on a regular with, some kind of consistency, foods that are natural chelators as well. You do have some like cilantro, I think, is a natural chelator. So if you have that in your diet, you're probably going to be less likely of having those buildups. And I tell people all the time, that's the mercury, that's the arsenic, that's lead, that's all of those things build up uh, in those masses, because everything that we eat, I don't care if it's organic, I don't care what it is something that comes from the earth. And the earth's crust is made up of all those elements, some that are good, some that are bad. And, because we induce them in small amounts is the reason why we're still able to function. But just imagine not having them and being able to function optimally. And that's what the chelation does. So after you finish chelating, you can go on to do other herbal teas, because we are breaking the fast for 10 days. There are pretty much five steps to the hierarchy of breaking a fast, which means that each of those steps get 2 days each. So when I do my tea, and I'm telling you, I really cheat a lot. I realize that now. Because I might do a day of nothing but tea after a fast, and then I'll get right into the juice same day, and then I'm right into my smoothie. I'm ready to eat, and I'm thinking about eating at this point, because it seems like once that I drink the tea, and that's why I really don't do those maintenance fasts, because I realize that my limit is that I can only do so many, I can only ingest certain things when I'm doing reset fasting, or any kind of fasting. We did a 7-7-7 day fast where we were doing nothing but water for 7 days, then tea for 7 days, and then seeded fruit juices for 7 days. I'm gonna tell you, I really want to go all 21 days with just the water, but I did it, and it was pretty cool doing the 7 days of tea. But I realized doing tea, and especially juice, kind of add to your appetite. I think it's because of the nutrients. I don't know, because even to stay in ketosis, all it takes is just a reduced caloric intake. So you can stay on that energy source called ketones as long as you're in ketosis. And you can stay in ketosis as long as you're under, I think, 2,500 calories or something like that. But I think that when I do the breaking of the fast, I believe if I'm just careful on how I reintroduce food into my body, I'll be okay. Meaning that if I do a day of tea to get my body used to, it's no calories there, but to, kind of continue to restore my body, and then do the juice. The juice is all fruit juice and it's seeded. So that's going to continue with any repair that's needed. So I might do a day, and a day. So instead of 10 days, I got 5 days before I'm back into food. But it really should, for maximum safety, 2 days for the tea, starting off with chelation tea, 2 days of the seeded fruit juice, no pulp. You want to still be, no real calories, because I think even the juice has some calories because of the sugars. But you're easing yourself back into calories, because day 3, or the third step, is the seeded fruit juice with the pulp, with sea moss, because you're replenishing all of those minerals and heavy metals that you've extracted with the chelation tea, but you've allowed it to continue in your system for those other 2 days until you get to actually doing the sea moss, because that is your first introduction back into solid foods. Once you finish, and yes, guys, I'm in St. Lucia. I forgot to tell you all. I moved to St. Lucia in 2020, but that's part of my story. Y'all need to follow, because I'm telling you, we're about to have a big celebration in November. because of those folks who have done the reset fast. We're going to celebrate like it's 2099. You know, saying with Prince's song. Anyhow, once you finish doing the seeded fruit juice with the pulp and the sea moss, then you want to move into the fourth phase of the hierarchy of breaking a fast. And that is your fruits, all seeded fruits, raw. Now that is, and you know, I hear some people talking about fruit is for repair and vegetables are for, I forgot what he said, rebuilding. So you want to have repaired whatever to get to rebuilding. So anyhow, once you finish the fourth level of the hierarchy of breaking the fast, the final one is merging into regular food, cooked and otherwise. I recommend strongly all the stuff on Dr. Sabi's nutritional guide, because I'm telling you, that's I put the formula together for the way I felt back in 2020. And every time I've done a fast, breaking it with the hierarchy and then moving right into all items on Dr. Sabi's nutritional guide, I'm telling you, phenomenal. That's all I can say. Freaking phenomenal. I mean, physically, mentally, spiritually. But I'm going to tell you, my spiritual everything came really full force in my face real time when I did that 40-day all water fast. So I don't really speak too much because I'm being able to look back in retrospect, having done the 21-day fast 4 times before doing that one 40-day fast. So 21 days of fasting every quarter in 2020, February, May, I want to say July and November. And then in January doing the 40-day fast. Yeah, that was amazing. It was really amazing. And I'm still living with it. It's 3 years, almost 4 years later, and I'm still having, I mean, it's kind of my life now. You know, being able to see things and able to think, being with clarity, being able to, you know, be empathetic, really thinking perpetually positive, being able to really live my life with intentions of being all positive and just really being able to control everything I do to some degree, because you know, as soon as you say that, shit start happening. But I'm telling you, this is a whole new life for me. No joke. Y'all hear what I'm saying? It's a whole new life, and I'm loving it. I love my life. I love me, you know, and I see what they mean when they say the highest vibration. I mean, when it comes to the laws of attraction, the highest frequency, the highest vibration, it's not love, it's authenticity. I couldn't understand that. Authenticity. Let's look it up because I need to see, because I'm like living this. And what I've been telling everybody, y'all come along for the ride because you all are living my journey with me real time. Because I'm still having these visions. I'm still having certain things happen to me that I can't explain. I've gone everywhere trying to find out. Astrology seems to hit. All the stuff that Billy Carson is talking about seems to hit. It's like, how could I have been so close-minded to really not even take any of it in? Because I was hardcore. It's like, really? And now I'm like, that's how I feel. That's what's happening to me. I'm telling you straight up. Really being able to go. I want to look up authenticity for you all. Authenticity. I'm just doing it straight from Google.
Here's the definition of authenticity: the quality of being authentic.
That is so. How do you describe a word using the word? That's no description at all. Y'all, it's almost 50 minutes. I was only going to do an hour, if that. But there's a few more things that I want to go back to. Genuineness, originality, rightfulness. I don't know what that means. Okay. Authenticity is the quality of being genuine or real. Don't give me that kind of definition ever. I remember when I was in school. Yeah, we don't do that. You might question the authenticity of your eccentric uncle's photo of a UFO. The word authenticity is the state of something being. Who is this? Let me just write this down. www.vocabulary.com. Y'all shut up. Stay out the game. I'm telling you, I can't stand that because that's clearly being unauthentic. However, a common definition is that being authentic is living your life according to your own values and goals rather than those of other people. Being truly you. Put simply, authenticity means you're true to your own personality, values, and spirit, regardless of the pressure that you're under to act otherwise. Now, I like that. Who is this? www.mindtools.com. Thank you. That's how I see it. Authenticity, being true to you, your personality, your values, your spirit, everything. That puts you in a different category. You know what I mean? It puts you in a category all of your own. Not caring about anyone else, not judging anyone else. Authenticity, I see what that is. Because once you're authentic with yourself and knowing who you are, it's so easy to love everybody else because you don't care. You really don't. You love them, and that's the blanket template for everybody. You love them because you love yourself. You know yourself. I'm telling you, that's what fasting has done for me. I love it too. I'm telling you, it gives you a power. It gives you a freedom. Let me tell you from what? From fear. Y'all hear what I'm saying? That authenticity removes fear. Because you're at a point where you don't care if life sustains within you or not. Because you know who you are. And you can stand up for whatever that is. And some guy said that, everyone is right. Everyone is right. And now new me is like, okay, let me think about it. The old me was right. Everyone is right. Okay, keep stepping, tell your story walking. But it's true. I can't step in your shoes and give any kind of perspective, any kind of vantage point for you. So as you are where you stand and being authentically who you are, I cannot tell you you're wrong or anything other than being right. Everyone is right. I love that. Anyhow, after you finish doing your refeeding, stay on that path because that visceral fat is still being diminished. The visceral fat is all that stored stuff that's been in your system. And be aware, these are some of the things that I found with me. As soon as I finished that chelation and started refeeding and everything, I had to be very close to the bathroom. You're much like a newborn child. As soon, because you ain't got no blockages. Everything is clean. Rooter scooter, everything is gone. So you have to wonder why it took me 3 days to eliminate after not eating. I can't even imagine what kind of illnesses I might have had, chronic diseases I would have had I not done that fast in 2020. I'm so grateful to COVID because I know for a fact what I saw and the amount that I saw it on day 7, I was headed down that road. And especially being older, you got to take that into consideration and move with it. Everything that we were inundated with as youngsters is slowly slowing down. But guess what? We have what it takes, I don't care what age, to speed it back up. And it's called fasting. Get that stem cell working again. Because I'm telling you, that's the rebirth. They keep talking about being born again. I'm seeing it in my face. That's it. I mean, because really, if you do it like that, other than a gunshot, stab wound, or something, artificial like that, you really could live forever. You're making your body stay on point with what it knows to do with your body and keeping your health on point. And we ain't even using it. I mean, straight up going to some doctor for some pharmaceutical made in the lab bull crap. Are you serious right now? And then expecting that level of intelligence can even compare to what's going on in here. I say, you will never, I'm never having surgery again. Ever. Because I really do believe that there's an aptitude deficiency for anyone attempting to go within this machine and know what they're doing. Freak that. I'm telling you, there's so many intricacies that I can see in a human body without even going in. Because I know my body like that. Like I said, I've done 12 different all water reset fasts. 2 were for 40 days. Yeah, I'm clocking that stuff. I'm definitely clocking it. When I did that 40-day fast, I'm telling y'all, I hit that point where the electrolytes start becoming imbalanced because I didn't realize the first 3 days when I didn't drink any water, didn't wash my body, didn't eat anything, just straight meditation, prayer. Because I was straight, I wouldn't even call it fear. It's like, I'm not going to let this entity win. I'm going to do everything I can to build my immune system, make sure that I don't have any deficiencies when it comes to fighting this doggone crap that they are, I think, purposely putting out there, this COVID stuff and now this monkeypox. Hey, Renee's Secret Garden, how are you? You're new here. I'm Robin, and this is my Alkaline Vegan Journey, where we're just now really opening up doors here on YouTube. We've got a family of about 90,000 over on TikTok, and we're basically doing a lot of live broadcasts early in the morning so that everyone can start their day with positive energy. So we do what's called Inspiration Station. Right now, I'm just simply going through how to fast. That's the key. That's the beginning. That's the core. That's everything. That's where you find your control. That's where you stop really depending on fear to guide you, because that's all it is. When I think back after fasting, the 12 times that I did, on some of the decisions I made prior to fasting, some of them were on point because I think I was always on that positive vibe. But at some point, I can see where fear dictated everything. Fear of, not having a house, fear of not having money, fear of anything with my children, fear. And as I explained, that you don't really have any kind of freedom if you've got that kind of fear, any kind of fear. Honestly, any kind of fear is one that you need to stave off. And the best way to do that is to cleanse your body. Because I do believe that a lot of the things that we eat, the air that we breathe, the water, has a direct correlation to the fear that everyone feels on some level. Because, it makes sense. Those are things that we need to survive. So anyone who wants to control you and make sure you're not standing too high or, causing problems, is controlled. And fear is a very, very effective control mechanism. So I'm telling you, once I fast that first time for 21 days, I realized something happened to me. I can't tell you enough how I am not the type of person to fast ever. Foodie stamped, for real. Ask anyone. And for me to have done the 21 days, it had to be important. And like I said, it was, because I was determined not to take that doggone COVID shot. And to date, I have not. No consideration to even do so. So Renee says, sounds good to me. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, a lot of people are guilty of, all things they derive from fear-based decisions. A lot of people are, even in taking that shot. The COVID shot is one that I got to position myself, because I'm telling you, this wall, I'm in St. Lucia. I moved here in 2022 based on this journey. This journey is opening me up to all things good for me. It's like, where have I been? And it's something about being obedient too, because fear can cause you to be disobedient. I should have been out here all along. Anyhow, but yeah, fear is like, Anyhow, so I wound up moving here to St. Lucia in 2022. Now, this is after I did the 4 fasts in 2020. All of them were for 21 days, and I did it based on trying to build the immune system, but more so to find out what I could still eat and get away with it. I mean, straight up, I was hard on M&Ms. I loved M&Ms. I loved pork. And I kept thinking, even back then, that there's a way I should be able to integrate this stuff so I can do it all, have it all. I mean, really, and I found a way. Y'all check it out. Renee says, is fear a big thing? Fear is a big thing with me. And my doctor has cleared me to fast for 3 days only. Renee, what are you doing? You have a doctor that actually, to date, has cleared you for 3 days. That's rare. And you're in the United States? I don't know if you're in the United States. I don't know. Are you? Because that is very rare. And for 3 days, I can understand that, because they don't want you to take away all the business. They do want you to get well. Because I'm going to tell you, a reset fast is just that. And I believe that when I go on the live broadcast of those people who are selling that little orange pack, they tout, it's all natural. It's got this. It's got these people back, and it's got all this. And I will repeat, there is nothing on God's green earth that can even come close to competing with the benefits of reset fasting. Nothing. You hear me? Not a herb, not a pharmaceutical, not a supplement, not a nothing. And they know it. They know it. You do that reset fast, you are no longer their patient. Yo, hold on. Let me plug up. My battery is low. Hold on, Renee. I'll be right back. Hold on. Here in St. Lucia, we have a few places where we can plug up. This home. Hold on. Yeah, I gotta get some more tea. So yeah, a lot of people believe that they can circumvent all the things, all the benefits that you get from fasting. They think they can circumvent the fasting and get it some other way. You cannot, ever, never. No, it does not compare. And that's why I'm so into it. Because even though a lot of people don't want to hear it, they know. They know. Uh-oh, still not doing anything. Yeah, hold on. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to get power. For some reason, this thing here. It's not doing anything. What is going on? Please don't tell me my cord is no longer working. It's not giving nothing. I don't know what I've done. But my computer's not. Oh, there it is. Green, now red. Please, red. That's the only one. Nope. Battery still same. Something is going on with my computer. Hold on 1 second. There it is. Okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm so blessed to have been able to I feel grateful for COVID. I really do, because like I said, there is no way that Robin would ever have gone without food. Ever. I mean, ever, never, ever. For real, for real. And to have done this thing, doggone, how many times? 4 times in just 2021. I mean, 2020. I'm telling you, that was some other force, because I was determined not to take a shot, but I was also determined to make sure I was protected. What better way to protect yourself than with the major defense system of the body, the immune system? And I kept thinking, if that's what they calling it, let me build mine above and beyond it where it's ever been in this body. So I wound up doing the first 21-day fast with that doggone determination in me. And what was really very giving is that while doing it, I was creating this passion, this determination to get it done. Because all while I was doing it, I was thinking about those cashews, that big thing of cashews I just bought before deciding to fast the night before I started fasting. Because that's exactly how it went. Just finished eating a doggone chicken dinner with my family, realized that the next day I think was Lent, and then being able to at midnight just stop eating. I had made that decision that evening around 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. I had just gone to the grocery store, bought this big old container of cashews. Huge. I think normally they're like $30, but I think I might have paid $16. So heck yeah, I'm getting cashews. And all through the fast, wasn't even hungry, but my whole thing was I want them cashews. Every place I read online about how to break fast, nobody mentioned nuts, even though that was my intention. As soon as I finished, but all while thinking about, taking 1 or 2, I was cursing the devil straight up. That became my shield, just having it in my mind that anything that tried to deter me from doing this fast straight up was the devil. And it worked. It really did. Because I'll never forget. I think I might have been on day 1 or 2 when I first started. Because when I went to DC, I wound up being stranded basically because I been gone for a while, had already given up the house, the car, and everything there within. All things were in Australia that, because we had moved to Australia. And being there in DC, it was like I was new there, like newly moved there. Because I wasn't going to be staying with friends and family and stuff. It didn't look like we were going to be getting back to Australia for a minute. So I started working. And I started working with Amazon, delivering with them, and started working with DoorDash, delivering food for for people who wanted McDonald's. They even deliver for McDonald's. I was like, okay, who wants McDonald's French fries after that ride? Come on. Anyhow, so during me doing all of that, I think Yeah, I was fasting. And I'm going to tell you, just smelling that food. I remember a couple of those days, and how that dissipated, I still don't know. But, delivering that food and fasting before I actually reached day 3. And oh my God, I was hungry. And I kept saying, Satan, stand your ass down. And you are not effective here at all. I'm in control. And I kept saying that. I don't know where those words came from. I'm in control. I was saying that through that fast when I was feeling tempted, especially then, first time ever fasting. And I knew that I had to do something so I wouldn't have to take that COVID shot. And having, the temptations during that first one, they completely dissipated after day 3. Because day 3, I'm now on ketones. I don't need no food for energy. The food is gone. The glucose, the glucogen is gone. We are completely on ketones. You don't have no appetite. That's what I mean when I say you're on autopilot when you get past day 3 while fasting. I mean, now getting to day 3, that's when you really build your determination. Because people right at day 3 start eating again. Like, you crazy, right there. You're right there. Day 3. That's why a 21-day fast can be done so much better if you integrate some dry fasting days in there. Because if you start your fast with nothing in or on your body, that means no water, no food, no nothing, no lotions, no oils, 24 hours. We did it. 8/8, August 8th, we did it as an international group. And we had so many people. Like, I could do that, and did it. I had people who had never fasted before and vowed, like me, never to fast, doing those 24 hours. And that 124 hours with dry fasting is equivalent to 3 days. You realize how much autophagy you got going on in 3 days? I mean, stem cells being mass produced. Because it really takes, when you get to the ketones as your source of energy, that autophagy really starts mass producing these stem cells. And stem cells are the breath of life, because they are the cells. They are the only cells in our bodies that can go in and become a heart cell, become a lung cell. And it's doing just that when it's finding those damaged cells in those areas, which is a culmination, when you do it long enough, of recreating that organ. I mean, completely rebuilding it with new cells. Talk about rebirth. I mean, when you say that that's it, can take a doggone cancerous whatever part of your body and build it back to new without anything external. Anything external. Y'all check out Dr. Alan Goldhammer. He got case studies on it, where he's got patients who have gone through this and cured cancer. And they keep saying reverse. You know why they say reverse? Because in America, and I'm glad I'm in St. Lucia, but in America, where I used to be, you could face severe complications and consequences when you use that word cure. And rest in peace, Dr. Sabi was a pure product of that. He was going around curing people of AIDS, curing people of cancers, curing people of diabetes and high blood pressure, curing them of these things. And started talking cure. He knew what he was doing. Dr. Sabi knew what he was doing. He knew that he started floating that word around about cure. He was going to wind up where he wound up, in prison, facing charges of practicing medicine without a license. He knew it. I believe he did, because many wouldn't have heard of him or what he was doing. All the stuff that he had for all of us to do repair without pharmaceuticals and surgery. He knew what he was doing. So after that cat got out of the bag, and I'm going to tell you, I'm an investigator. So I went to the New York Supreme Court to try to look up the case. And that case is so well hidden. That case on, what is his real name? Dr. Sabi's case in New York was heard before the Supreme Court, and he won, straight up won. The judge, I don't know what they were thinking, but for every disease that he claims to have cured, they wanted him to bring in a patient. And I think that might have been 7 different ailments, might have been more, meaning 7 different patients he needed to bring in to court. Well, of course, Dr. Sabi in his normal style brought in 70 plus people to that courtroom. All of them having documentation. Yeah, I went to the doctor, this doctor over there, that AMA, that board certified doctor over there, and he told me I had this. And they had the diagnosis. Then they went to Dr. Sabi, got all of these herbs and things and fasting protocols and stuff, chelations and stuff. Went back to the doctors after doing that protocol, them same doctors they went to. A new diagnosis, all gone, all gone, all gone. Dr. Sabi had every one of them and their documentation. They couldn't help but to freaking dismiss it, and they didn't dismiss it. He was found not guilty. And the way they put that thing up in that docket, it's like dockets aren't, I don't care, because I work the tri-state area up there in New York too. New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. I work cases up there, just like in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. They don't put dockets in, they don't do them like that. I mean, if y'all know anything about looking up dockets, check that one out. I got to remember his name. His son, who's out there in California, he's actually going to be, I got to reschedule him for an interview, because the day that we were supposed to interview him, what's his name? He got a call from Nick Cannon's people because Nick Cannon is doing a story on Dr. Sabi, and I can't even think of his name. He was supposed to, he actually had to do something. I guess the movie that Nick Cannon is making on Dr. Sabi is still being made. Okay, Renee, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna read your comments. But he actually was called that day that we were supposed to interview him, and I haven't even. I'm telling you, business got, we started expanding really fast, so we decided to kind of restructure things. So I've not been doing the interviews like we did before, and all of this is happening on TikTok. We got to come over here to YouTube. I'm kind of liking it over here, because over there on TikTok, y'all know after the Zuck fuck, Mark Zuckerberg did what he had to do to try to dismantle the platform or take it over, whatever he was trying to do. He couldn't compete, so he had to do all that scandalous stuff. And the state that it's in right now, TikTok is not what it used to be, not at all. But anyhow, YouTube, I'm kind of digging it, even though Google, I don't know, they know how to DL it, keep it on the down low, all that nefarious bull crap. Anyhow, so at some point we're gonna have what's his name, Alonzo? Can't think of the names, but we're gonna interview him along with a couple other people, because the platform has really gotten big. And I appreciate all of you. Y'all just don't understand. Inspiration Station over there on TikTok, man, the love is flowing, the energy is flowing, and it's all. I'm telling you, we're realizing that now we can dictate whatever we want, because once your mind is clear, once your body is clean, your mind is clear. Your mind is clear to think whatever you want to think without fear. So we decide we want to think all things positive. We play this game called My Alkaline Vegan Journey Positive Word Game, and it's all about positivity perpetually, and it's working. Now, Renee says, fear is a big thing with me, and my doctor has cleared me for a 3-day fast. Girl, do it. Do it. And make sure all 3 days are dry. That's 9 days. You are in autophagy at least by 3. So those other 2 days are all stem cell producing in massive quantities to go in and get some of the work done. May not be the reset, but it'll get some of the work done. You hear me? So whatever you have, I'm telling you, do it. Says yes in the States. Because, right, like I said, I moved to St. Lucia in 2022. And this is, again, after deciding November of 21 to move to St. Lucia, February of 22. January of 21 changed my life. That was when I did that 40-day all water fast with 3 days dry. It really it changed my life. And because of that, I am truly not the same person. I love who I am. I love how I'm telling you, talk about getting to authenticity where you don't give a crap what anybody thinks. You don't give a crap about none of that. And with that, that's like a lifted fear. Afraid of what they gonna say, afraid of what they gonna whisper behind your back, afraid of all this other bullcrap. No, no, you can be authentically you. Authentically you. And when you're authentically you, guess what? That fear is gone. That fear is gone. That's Brittany. Why is she using this new number? So, guys, I think I've talked to you all about what to expect while fasting, especially during those first 3 days when your body is transitioning. I've talked to you about how to break the fast, from the chelation tea and those days of herbal tea, then the seeded fruit juice, no pulp, then to the seeded fruit juice with the pulp. And I say seeded because don't go to no Safeway or, Giant someplace thinking you buying grape juice that has seeds because it's probably not with seeds. And we do not want you having anything in that clean body that's not wild or very close to what's wild. Nothing manufactured in no lab. Anyhow, um, once you do the seeded fruit with the pulp and the sea moss, which is the replenishment of the chelation, then you start doing your raw fruit. And then raw vegetables, I do those in the same day, but I start off my raw fruit with nothing but fruit. No lettuce, no onions, no ginger, garlic, none of that. I will boil my ginger uh, um, and I will boil some of those things that are categorized. I guess they're categorized as veggies. I will boil some of them. But anyhow, once you do your fruits and vegetables, then you want to move into the last phase of breaking the fast, which is the refeeding with cooked foods. And I'm telling you, y'all, don't deviate from Dr. Sabi's nutritional guide. Try all items on that. No, it does not include meat. No, it does not include dairy. No, it does not include anything that's genetically modified. It does not include anything that is cross-pollinated. Not a thing. And that's the best thing for your body. I can attest to that from that very first fast, February of 2020. Because when I finished that fast, I cheated. You think I didn't eat them cashews? Yes, I cheated once I finished my fast because I didn't really know about breaking the fast and all that. But that was the first thing that I put in my mouth after fasting. That whole fast was tormented by those cashews. I was tempted and everything having those cashews in the house. But I believe that that's what caused me to have that kind of discipline because even though those cashews were there, I stayed firm on not touching a one during those 21 days. And that set the tone for every fast thereafter. Every fast thereafter. Y'all, I'm going to tell you one of the worst fasts was that third fast. The third one I did in 2020. I'm going to test sugar with something that I love. I mean, really love, and I dogged it. And y'all remember, while I'm testing all these outside agents like my pig feed and my beef, and I didn't really do chicken. Well, I did do chicken. I did all of them: the beef, the pork, the chicken, the fish, the dairy, the sugar, all during that year 2020. I'm checking out what this doggone fasting and Dr. Sabi's stuff. And how is it I had never heard of Dr. Sabi before this? That shows just how much of a person that did not really deal with this real strict kind of healthcare and dieting stuff because I had never heard of them. Anyhow, I really wanted to find out how this thing was making me feel this way. How is it I was feeling? I'm telling you, it is a great feeling. It really is. So anyhow, that's why I did a lot of the testing because I had to see if I could keep any of the stuff that I really love in my diet. M&Ms. When I did those M&Ms, y'all. Now, this is while I was doing my chickpeas and mushrooms and all that other stuff. I was eating M&Ms because I really wanted to see M&Ms alone while still doing Dr. Sabi's food, if I could still feel that way. And you can't. You can't. You can't even go back to fasting, right? You can't. Y'all, I had it bad. I had the big bag of M&Ms, the one with the handle, every day. And I think it might have been 40 days between those fasts. Every day I had one of those, and I consumed every one of them. It was a different bag every day. My nephew he was like perplexed, like, what? There's been a new bag every day? Yeah, that's how much I love them things. And when I finished and was ready to fast, I went up to the day, to the hour. That I think I had M&Ms up through, because I always start my fast at midnight, 11:30, 11:40. Eating those M&Ms, and then went straight to fasting. That was one of the hardest fasts I've ever done in my life. I was cursing Satan like what? And that's why I have this book on fasting. Because if you ever need tidbits on how to complete a fast, book. And that's one of the things I did. Everything that went against me being able to fast became Satan or the devil. Simple as that. And I was cursing it. And that's how I saw it in my mind. Like, how you going to let Satan beat you when it comes to doing something that's all about God? It says it in the Bible. There should be times of feasting and fasting. You want them in your temple, and you want your temple clean. I was going through all of this stuff. It's in the book. And I got to the place where it's like, I'm the parent. God doggone it. And whatever you call in that appetite, call it what you like, is something else. And guess what? I'm going to reign supreme. I am the parent. How you going to have a tantrum? Stomach all growling and stuff, But I tell you, with that fast, after doing that sugar, and that wasn't the only sugar I did. I did some of the other sugars, the cakes, the ice cream. And I think I did try to ease some dairy into that one, But anyhow, and that was the inspiration for my walnut chews. Because even after I, went through that, I still wanted them. I still wanted those peanut M&Ms. To this day, I've not had another one. Because I know that's one of them thresholds, nah, I'm not getting back into that. And I've cheated, and I won't even call it cheated. I've had what I wanted when I wanted it. And like I said, I'm still alkaline vegan. A lot of times people will try to class you what they want you to be. And if you're not following those strict guidelines, you can no longer be. Freak that. Shut your freaking mouth. I am who I say I am. And you should be the same way too. And that's a part of control. You don't let nobody tell you who you are. I don't care if you eating all the pig and goat and all of that stuff. If you say you're alkaline vegan, that's who you are. Because ain't none of us perfect. And that's why I say everybody's right. Because even once you go back to that defines what alkaline vegan is. Yeah, what are you then? Returning alkaline vegan? Yeah, stop that noise. You are who you say you are perpetually because you're in control. It may not fit the guidelines for some of those who have tried to set the guidelines, but like I said, you are who you say you are. So when I went back and thought about some of the struggles that I had with fasting after having that sugar, I realized that there was a lot of sugar left in my system even after I transitioned. Something like that had to have been happening because usually when you get into ketones, you ain't thinking about anything that comes from glucose. Not nothing, because you don't need it. You're on an energy source, and that's what your body needs. I think it's greed. I think it's being used to certain foods, the smell, reintroducing certain things in your mind. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what was the difference in that fast as opposed to all the others. Because that was the fast that really gave me problems. Even the first one wasn't so bad because, I had put that right in place. And do you realize that after you do that first reset fast, you really don't go through those periods of final stool? Well, for me, it was like that. Second fast, I didn't have any, man, I just stopped eating. Didn't have any bowel movement, no excess mucus from my body. I mean, it was really like when I stopped eating, I was in autophagy mode right then. Now, mind you, that I had just done a 21-day all water fast in February. From March 16th, when I ended that fast, through May 1st, I was eating nothing but the food on Dr. Sabi's nutritional guide. And May 1st, I started another water fast. So I ain't have nothing to really, all that's why I can confirm and say that the food on Dr. Sabi's nutritional guide is what we should be eating. That's exactly why I say I don't care if you eat meat. I don't care if you're doing the sugar, but everything on that doggone nutritional guide is what we should be consuming. Renee says, I did a fast before chemo and my body looked like a G. I was up dancing and everything. No sickness. That's how it works. She says, it's always right after you bought something you like. That's exactly what it was. Them cashews were calling me. I don't know why. I wasn't putting it off the begin date. So it ran exactly the way it should. I bought the cashews. I was tempted by it through the parts of the fast. And the only parts, because at one point they caught on. It's like, I shall not be tempted. So you might as well stop trying. Simple as that. Because I was hardcore. No joke. I was hardcore. Renee says, facts 100. Alfredo Bowman. Thank you. I don't know. His Bowman. Muhammad Bowman. The son that's in California, I can't think of his name. One of our members of the My Alkaline Vegan Journey family. And y'all, it's easy to become a member of the family. Just subscribe here on YouTube and follow on TikTok because we have a lot of stuff that's going on. I am now offering, and it's not ironclad, our event that's happening in November here in St. Lucia. It's a 7-day all-inclusive event for how with your travel, your housing, your transportation, your food, your excursions, everything is included. And for those who do the 21 days of reset fasting, we are working toward getting you here for free. You know, your ticket is going to be paid for once we get sponsors. We're working diligently toward that now. And we got a couple companies who are interested. But the whole event is twofold. First, for that massive international celebration for all of you who have done and refed appropriately the 21-day reset fast. And those of you who want to no. Second fold is for those of you who are interested in St. Lucia. A lot of people want to move here, and it's a wonderful place. I've been here almost 3 years now from DC. And I was supposed to be back in Australia, but, you know, they opened Australia, and I haven't been back yet. I've been building a business here also, so I haven't had time or money. But those of you who complete that 21-day fast, first and foremost, you're going to be vibrating on a frequency that you may not be used to, but you'll get used to it quick, because I did. It's really amazing. And I'm telling you, it is the preface for everything. If you're on some kind of regimen that includes supplements and herbs and all of that daily, like sea moss every day, 2 tablespoons every day, no, you don't have to do all that. You do have to have good eating, whole foods, wild in your refeeding daily, because you do need those 21 nutrients every day for every cell. And that's what eating whole is all about. You know, yeah, it's been an hour and 30 minutes. Let me end this. Thank you so much, Renee Secret Garden, for joining us in the comments. We've had a few people show up, but I want to thank you all so much. I'm Robin. And this is my alkaline vegan journey. If you have any real, um, I don't want to say that. Any questions about fasting, ask me, because I've done them. Personally, I've done 12 different long-term fasts since 2020. And I'm still going through my journey in real time with the effects of fasting. And I'm doing my due diligence by doing my scholarly peer-reviewed research to really answer questions that I have about what's going on with my body, because it's a lot and it's all for my good and I can see it. I'm so glad to be able to have a clear thought process, and I tag fasting for that too, to be able to discern what's actually happening and to my body because of the fasting. Spiritually, I'm still adopting some of the things. I'm telling you, I realize that anything that gives me that positive outlook, I feel good with. Anything that's giving me a positive energy, I'm going to, and I'm finding that with a lot of things with astrology. I'm finding that with a lot of things that deal with some of the things that I straight rejected. A lot of the things that I was not even, pineal gland, third eye, all of that stuff. And I know that's what's happening with me, because there's something about that 40-day fast that I know for fact my pineal gland has, if not totally, but at least partially been decalcified. I mean, with all these doggone fasts, something had to be decalcified. I mean, really. But like I said, that chelation I did after that 40 days of not eating anything that produced me winding up in the bathroom with a stool. Y'all make sure you get a natural chelation. We have one in my store, myalkalineveganjourney.com. Right now, we're going through building the website because we're no longer on the Square's platform. We are not going to be on anyone's platform ever again. I'm creating my website from coding it from scratch. And I don't know shit about that either. I'm using Chat GPT, and I go live on TikTok to show people, some of the tricks and things that I'm learning as a newbie coding. Now I'm being considered as a back-end engineer and architect in IT, because I know I do all that stuff now. I mean, a lot of it has been cut and paste from generated code from Chat GPT, but I now understand the syntax, the tags, all of that. So I can actually full show write it out myself. Anyhow, I love you guys. And what we're trying to spread universally is agape love through a higher frequency, which lends to a higher vibration and resonance. And we do that with cleansing our bodies first, making our temples the subject of attention. By cleaning it with fasting, it's done thoroughly, completely, and only takes one. If you're refeeding appropriately, it will stay with you for a lifetime. I believe that because of what I've experienced, because of this whole thing, I'm a different person. And I think that through you can be two. And with you being two means that two is more than one. Us both vibrating on a frequency that's higher because our bodies are cleaned and purified, we can effectively change the vibration on Earth because it's spreading. It's contagious. We'll talk more about it. You all join me. Make sure you subscribe. myalkalineveganjourney.com. We'll be back.